What's up, people? It's been a minute. It's been like I'm pushing almost 3 weeks from this surgery, and I'm getting better. But unfortunately, these things are still in my fucking life. I am trying really hard, probably smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes a day. Um, I'm gonna stop. I am. It's a slow, gradual process for me. I'm doing the patches and all that mess and whatever it is. But I still got a lot of pain here. It's difficult to sleep at night. I cough and it hurts, and I gotta push on my chest or put a pillow there to kind of, you know, put some pressure there so that I don't blow my chest apart. It's still pretty sore. So yeah, I'm not supposed to be drinking coffee either, but I'm supposed to be drinking decaf. But this is what it is right now. I'm doing the best I can, man. It's tough. It is tough. And anyway, and then on top of all of that, I just come out of surgery. My youngest son, who I haven't seen in 4 years because he's pissed because I didn't get him out of jail the last time, uh, finally shows up to the hospital, and he's got no money. He's got nothing. And, my wife gave him some money, right? A good bit, enough to help him out. And that very day, he goes to see his girlfriend, which they had broken up or whatever that is. And, I don't even know all the details. But apparently he got trespassed, and they locked him up. They took his truck. They took everything. But here goes the thing. He didn't have a driver's license. And in 4 years, you think he would have had a driver's license by now. But apparently he didn't. So they locked him up for that and a few other things. She threw some other charges on him. I mean, he says they're not true. I don't know. I don't know. But the fact is, he's in jail. So anyway, he's calling me up like 16, 20 times a day to get him out, get him out. Like, he thinks that if he bugs me enough, he's going to get out. And it kind of worked. After like almost 3 weeks of him being in jail, he kept bugging me. But here goes the deal. We got a bail bondsman to get him out, but we're on the hook for $4,000 if he decides to jump, which I don't know what he's going to do, honestly. And that's when you get anybody out of jail. I don't care who it is. When they're facing time, and they didn't, even if they put their own money out their pocket, they may jump. I don't know. But that kind of puts us on a hook. So we're going to give him a shot, but we let him know this is the last time. If you next time you call, you can call and say hi, because that's about it's going to happen. Because we're not getting you out no more. We're done with this shit. But that being said, all that drama, other little things here and there, that's pressure, that's stress that I don't need. And anybody who goes through this surgery, open heart surgery, if people don't know, that's stress you don't need. You don't need that in your life, because at any given moment you could have a heart attack. Like, this is not a cure-all. It just basically it'll help me get by, and I need to stop the smoke, and I gotta do more exercise. I gotta do more breathing exercises. There's a lot of things I need to do, and all that on top of my head, I got outside stress that is is there. It's hanging over you. And I lost probably about 30 pounds, close to 30 pounds. You can see it in my face if you go back and see some of the videos. Yeah, I've lost quite a bit of weight. My appetite is not as high. I went to dinner today with my wife and my niece, and I ordered all this food and basically ate maybe a 20th of what was there. Like, my eyes got bigger than my stomach, and I'm not, my appetite is just not there yet. I eat like once a day. I drink a lot of fluids, though. I'm constantly drinking. I'm constantly thirsty. So that's what that is. So I don't know. I wanted to get back to telling some stories on some things. So since I'm talking about my son, so when he was little, I got custody of both my kids. when my son was about 9 years old, and he's 27 now, something like that. He was born in '94. Do the math. Anyway, so he was little, and we let him. We lived in a trailer park at the time, and we let him run and hang out with his friends, and whatever. You know what I mean? It was kind of a safe place for him to be around because kind of all the neighbors kind of watched out for their kids, and that kind of thing. And he comes running back to the house, and he is tore up from the butt down, like he had been mauled by a dog, and he's crying, he's freaking out. And so now, I'm the type of person that when something's going on, no matter what it is, if it's something stressful, I will basically be calm about it and try to think the best way through it. So the first thing was to get him medical attention. So a friend offered to drive him and my wife to the hospital while I go find this dog and find out who owns it and if it has rabies shots and what do we got to do here. So I find the dog. They said he had rabies shots. I didn't believe it. But anyway, that the animal control came by and they took the dog. I believe they put the dog down, and that's unfortunate. But what had happened was the dog was chained to the front porch. He come running in. He tried to pet the dog, and the dog just went at him on a chain, and he was able to get away because he was on a chain, but not before being bit on the ass, the thigh, and the leg quarter, and he punctured him pretty good. He ripped a little bit of meat off of him, and so anyway, once I find that out, I head to the hospital. And my wife's in the waiting room. She's like, I can't go in there. He is screaming and freaking out. I says, I got this. I go inside, and the doctor's like, we got to calm him down. We want to give him some drugs to calm him down. I said, fine. I said, but I'm gonna stay here with him. They said, no, you got to leave. I'm like, I'm not leaving him. And I'm saying this in front of him. I'm like, I'm not leaving him. So I grab his hand, and I said, squeeze my hand. I was like, you can do this. You can get through this. I'm like pumping his ass up, and they start stitching him up. And he was like, oh, I'm feeling it. He's screaming. I'm like, well, I said, you can do this. I'm like, pump through it. And halfway through, I guess the numbing medicine took it, kicked in. And he's like, I don't feel it no more. I'm like, good. I said, you can do this. I said, hold my hand. I said, I'm here with you. We're going to go through this. So he goes through it. And, he comes home and whatnot. And I think, of course, that's an impact on a kid's life. That happens to you. But the main impact is that he knew I wasn't leaving him. I was going to be there. And through his life, I tried to be there, and he's been in and out of jail his whole life. And at some point, I put my hands up and said, look, I can't do this with you. Because every time you go to jail, it's like I go to jail. So, that's what it is. So anyway, he's a grown man, and he's got to take responsibility for what his actions are. We told him that, my wife told him before all this happened, she said to him, if you go to this house, this is what possibly could happen to you. He's like, I'm going to do it my way. Okay, well, you got the information, so now go ahead and do it your way and see what happens. That very day, he goes to jail. He's in jail, he's crying and all this other stuff. It's the same shit. Every time he goes to jail, I can tell you what's going to happen. He's going to start calling, crying. I'm like, but you knew. I'm like, this ain't the first time you've been to jail. I said, you should accept whatever the consequences are, because obviously you don't give a shit. So, and I feel bad saying that to him, but that's what it is. You get in trouble, it's your shit, your deal. Nobody else is responsible for it. I don't have to bail you out. That is not my fucking job. So, anyway, so that's the story of my son. There's more. I'm just trying to remember stuff. It's a lot of years and a lot of things, but there's more to come. Thanks for tuning in and sticking by. I appreciate you. Peace out. And as always, this is from my brother Craig. Love you, brother.